on side. But we'll see what this can do. Spawning in the game, you do start completely even. Stats don't matter. It's completely brand new game. A fumble by either player can spell their own demise. So I'll let you introduce the players here.
Sure, like you were saying, anybody can have a build order win, and these are best of ones, obviously, so being able to do that unpredictably, yeah, could be a big deal. So we do see vileHawk. He is spawning as our red Zerg in the top left of Antigua Shipyard, and in the bottom right we have ToFjames. He is our orange Protoss for this matchup.
Yeah, cross spawn only. These players being awkwardly manner, I guess you could say that, and winks and sweeties and babes going down, and both these players very very friendly, we'll call it. Now Forge fast expand. That's what I'm going to assume. We're seeing this probe is running out pretty early, and actually that pylon is very far back. What do you make of that?
Yeah, well, on this map you can either wall at the ramp there to the natural, or you can just build your wall in with the Nexus and then wall off right by the gas and finish that off. It's really just personal preference. I think it might actually be a little bit easier to do the one that he's doing here, and it might be a little bit safer. You can just get a cannon positioning where those lings can't sneak in, but I think it is more risky because if you do screw up just in the slightest pixel, that building placement, you can have quite a huge gap in your wall.
Very interesting. Love having here for the Protoss insight. We do see the forging down. Oh, so very common. Spawning will first, but no gas quite yet for vileHawk. I would have loved to see that hatchery first. I think that'd be pretty cool. But it looks like vileHawk's drone is getting here, sees the forge, knows exactly what's going on, and just scouting around the outside, making use of its APM, and paying a lot of attention to that drone. Forge almost complete. So this is our last game. Here is kind of unfortunate that will be done. It's actually a lot of very quick games today.
Yeah, I'm a little sad it's almost done too. He does drop his forge here, does James, or sorry, his cannon before Nexus, just because there is that pesky drone just trying to block that Nexus. But yeah, he's actually, whoa, gonna do the hatchery in natural build. I've actually seen vileHawk, I believe, started this in GSL, and a second cannon gonna go down. That first cannon is in range, so I don't think he's gonna be able to actually let that hatch and then rally any lings out there, just because that cannon is already done. But it is definitely, what is the word? Just, yeah, delaying that Nexus is what I was trying to say. I don't know why I stumbled on that so much.
Now, one thing I was just thinking while you were talking there, if he walled off at the ramp and his cannon was at the ramp, this drone could have made the hatchery without being hit by any of the cannons. So possibly building this wall a bit farther back, one of the plus sides could be this, I was going to say new, but it's actually not that new. Actually building an Evo chamber, just delaying it as much as possible until the drone finally goes. And so, yeah, building back here with the cannons can help you against that Zerg style of actually building the hatchery in your natural.
Yeah, exactly, and you did have to wait for that tiny bit of creep to finally go away, and that's definitely irritating when you're doing that Forge Fast Expand from James. He is going to drop his 2 gases now, I believe. Yeah, he is. And then we do see a hatchery going down for Hawk about halfway finished. So let's see if he can do any damage, any poking with these lings. I think those cannons are in positions where they can fully protect that Nexus, so I don't think Hawk is going to be able to do anything, but just staying pesky with these Zerglings is always a good idea.
Hawk actually getting a very quick third base. It's actually not that far behind the main base, or sorry, the natural, not the main base. The main base is done. It started done. But an Overlord flying in here, checking out the main base, and seeing everything that's going on. Full Chrono Boost right now, but not really too much to use that on. Could be getting out some workers. Could Chrono Boosting out the Zealot, but probably doesn't need to be doing that. But regardless, looks like James is just setting up his SimCity. He's got his cannons, getting a pylon there, and his Nexus is almost complete. vileHawk is really going to push through the macro game, getting that third base oh so quickly. That third base is going to be done before the 7-minute mark.
Yeah, and the problem here for James is he has nothing to actually scout that early third is coming out. Generally, you do have that probe there, just hidden throughout the map, just somewhere where you can maybe try and sneak a scout into that third and see exactly what they're doing. But like you were saying, I don't exactly agree with the fact that he does have that full energy. He does now just use that chrono boost on the forge. Warpgate has not yet begun, even though he does have the money for it. I kind
There
of
we
wish
go.
he used some chrono. Yeah, there it goes now. I kind of wish he did drop some chrono boost on probes there because he was just sitting at 100 for so long that I believe he still would have been at 100 by the time that warp gate did indeed start.
And yeah, that energy grows so fast. Well, all energy goes at the same rate, but looks like he's getting down some more gateways, getting his gateway count up to 3. The Overlord there to the left-hand side of the kind of skirting out of there realizes that it's probably time to get going, although there is another over at the very backhand side of the natural, so he can run in there anytime he needs to. Looking at the middle of the map right now, there is a probe that got scouted by some lings, so lucky scout there
I
by
didn't even see
Hawk.
that.
Well, not even really lucky, rather, just searching around the map, being with your Zerglings. You were referring to active with them earlier. That's very important to do. Looks like we got a queen at all 3 bases, using up their energy. So, being played really well, but the only tech now for vileHawk is the spawning pool.
Did that probe scout that third? Something scouted the third of vileHawk, so that is definitely a good thing by James. I'm not sure if that was that probe. I actually didn't even see that probe was out on the map. When I was making that speech about, oh, he wants to have that probe out on the map to scout, I think he did have a probe out on the map, I just didn't see it. So yeah, we do see Warpgate just finishing here. He does have 4 gates. I'm not sure if he's going to be aggressive with this or not. I really hope that he does, but I don't know if he has the firepower to really take out that third or take out anything, to be exact.
That Overlord that went down in the main is actually supply blocked
Oh,
our
yeah.
Zerg player, although 4 Overlords will be completing and continuing to get out Overlords. That I will never be supply blocked again. So just getting out a ridiculous amount of Overlords, getting out a macro hatch, getting the +1 armor. Speed is on the way. We see a Baneling nest on the way. So a moment ago I said the tech was kind of behind for Hawk, and he's kicking that into high gear, getting out that macro hatch, the Banelings, and the Lings. I'm kind of expecting to see roaches pretty soon. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm not really sure. He's going to have to tech up to something pretty quick, unless he's going to go for, remember that TLO game we were talking about earlier, where just speedling after speedling after speedling, but speed's not even done yet, so I don't really think that is the exact strat he's going for. But yeah,
30
he is
Lings in
going to
production.
layer it. Oh, wow. Yeah, and Banelings, so maybe he's just going to try and bust through that wall when he gets a chance. He does have a lot more Lings once that speed pops. I think most of those will go down, and with those Banelings are really going to get Zealots, and those Speedlings will just clean the rest up. I think that whole army's actually going to go down
Ooh,
here. Banelings are going to hit. Oh, good
ooh.
God. All those are dead. I do not see him recovering from this with that army anyhow.
So many Lings just getting a huge surround. Good Baneling right there, actually pulling away a little bit early. These 3 Warped-in Zealots never had a chance. They will take out some Lings, but surrounded Zealots do get killed pretty quickly. Looking at the supply, it's 106,
Oh.
253. vileHawk doing very, very well, and actually producing 16 drones right now. So he knows he had a nice victory there, and just droning up like crazy behind it.
Yeah, that's exactly what I just made that little noise about, those 16 drones in production. Pretty huge. Going to be able to saturate all 3 of his bases, most likely. Oh, well, they're all almost saturated. So it does look like there's 3 drones going on the map right now, and I think he's just going to take the third,
Oh my
natural,
god.
and main of that position. So, wow, definitely feeling confident is vileHawk. We do see a Dark Shrine about quarter way through production. Blink about halfway done. I'm not really sure what James is going to do here. Some sort of Blink DT timing. If he's not doing that, he really needs to move up to a third base pretty quickly.
Yeah, I agree. Kind of regardless of what happens here, third base is going to be pretty important. 2 base Protoss can be strong, but we're looking at 3 active bases with 3 more bases on the way for Hawk. So Hawk really kicking this into high gear, and don't forget that he has a macro hatch as well. So he's going to have so much larva, it's ridiculous. He'll be able to keep money very, very low. Right now he's getting out Burrow, Infestation Pit. Might be getting out Infestors. That would actually be good with these Lings. Might actually just use it to go to Hive Tech Not exactly sure, but centrifugal hooks are on the way, as well as Templar Archive. So he's going to try to do a bunch of storm damage to these very quick, numerous units.
Yeah, something like that. I'm expecting. Yeah, we do see. Oh, I thought a Infestor upgrade was coming out. No, just started now is Pathogen Gland, so he is going for Infestors. I think if he was going to go for any other tech, you would have had that Spire down already. You do see the Hive coming out, rather, and those other three bases are being finished right now, being saturated as we speak, even getting queens to them. And yeah, I think Hawk is in a very commanding position, but he does have 4 DTs just running through the middle of the map. Does he have any active detection? I don't see any Overseers.
No, I don't see any
Oh,
overseers
wow.
either. Looking at the units tab, there's 111 drones right now. Check out that units
Jesus.
tab.
He could probably
100.
just lose a few of these DTs, and he's like, yeah, that's okay. I was going to suicide them anyhow.
Yeah, no kidding. Now the DTs have made themselves known, taking out one queen there. DT's just doing a sick amount of damage. And there we go, 2 Overseer cocoons being morphed in. How much damage will these DTs be able to do before the Overseer gets there?
Oh god. He's down to 83 drones now. He is actually doing a lot of damage with those. Taking out about... He still has that DT in the third, actually, and if he knew of these other bases, he could have just sent DTs there, and there would have been almost nothing vileHawk could do, but luckily he did not know about these bases for vileHawk. He's going to send some drones back over there to saturate those, but I believe that James has just been on 2 base for way too long. I think he needs to expand very quickly.
Now, all the drone count wasn't actually all killed. There's tons of spines and spores coming out. So
Oh yeah, that's
vileHawk
true.
responding really well. He's getting out 2 spines and a spore at every base. So there'll be 2 spines to do the stabbing, the spore to be able to see, and he's got Overseers with his army. So responding very well to this. And the creep spread moving all the way out to the watchtower, and with these 2 creep tumors finishing at the watchtower, will be spreading actually onto James's side of the map, and the creep is spreading all the way down to the bottom there, and so really vileHawk just taking over this game.
Yeah, exactly. I believe Storm is finishing pretty quick here, but 3-3 is actually almost finished for a Zerg player, and he is just literally running away with this here. Third base is finally going down for James, but when a Zerg has half the map and you're going for your third, that's a bit of a problem.
Yeah, a huge problem. As you said, 3-3 finishing. Adrenal glands on the way. That Zergling's crazy. They go from Zerglings to Speedlings to Cracklings, if you ask me. But looks like there's a huge amount of units on the field for vileHawk. He's actually not maxing out, which I find interesting. He needs to start saturating the gas at these 3 extra bases he got. He doesn't have the gas at any of them. I would like to see him get, just get 4 gas right now, even up to 6 gas. Just get that gas income. Just shoot it way up there. Looks like there's only 2 weapons down for a Protoss player, but he's actually making a huge cannon wall right now.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was just going to comment on. 7 cannons being built right now, and I don't think James realizes how far behind he is because, well, I think he probably would have left the game, to be honest with you. There's just so much stuff out on the map for vileHawk, and those gases are being finished right now, except for at that 5th, or whichever you'd like to call that, one of the bases anyhow. But the creep is actually just about spread to these cannons, and I'm pretty sure as soon as the creep hits those cannons, James is going to be like, oh god, I am in trouble.
So many lings right now. Looking on the unit tab, there's 142 lings out right now, 108 Bane lings and 7 queens, so that is crazy right now. And there's actually a Warp Prism drop on the left-hand side, not able to do too much damage, as a huge number of lings went watchtower to the 3rd base in a second, it felt like. So able to clean up that drop.
Yeah, I think Hawk was probably fine, completely fine with losing those, and right as I was gonna say it, James starts lagging. With this many lings on the map, James is gonna start lagging, but yeah, I would like to see him possibly just... He could literally just A-move all these. Oh, we do see the Protoss player moving out here, but he only has Stalkers with Blink against this large group of, oh my god, how many Banelings? 60 Banelings being morphed in right now. Jesus Christ. That is absolutely insane. I don't think there's anything that James could build to hold this off. I just don't think it's possible. Like, he can force field, and storms are actually going to help quite a bit, but when you can remax in an instant with the exact army that just came in and attacked you the first time, I think you're in trouble.
Yeah, 60 banelings morphing in